Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Great day, football action. It's good to be alive. Thank you, Jesus. It's good to be alive. Let's not take things for granted. We win, we gamble, we lose, we everything, but we're alive. At least we're alive. Thank you, Jesus. It's Sunday. I went 2-0 yesterday. Excuse me, Jesus. That's rude. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. 2-0. And I liked Oregon to just use Colorado. I liked Oregon because Colorado caught the perfect situations. Oregon is a potential final playoff team with that Bo Nix. And they could have won by 60. I mean, that 21 was nothing. And Colorado got exposed. They got exposed. I mean, not that they have great talent and everything, but they were going to come back down to earth against a potential Final Four playoff team. In college, then they decide the playoffs, but there's some teams that kind of get slanted that could really compete against those traditionals, those perennials, excuse me, like, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and these staples that have been in there. There's other teams out there that never made they didn't get in because of one loss or two losses. And it's just tough to say what's the fairest tournament or playoff system, what's the fairest playoff to determine the national champion. But I tell you, that 21 was covered probably in the first half. So that's college. And what a game that Ohio State and Notre Dame. I was borderline each way, but I think it landed right on the number 3. It landed right on the number. That was a great time capsule college football game. Tough, gritty game with a lot of potentially, a lot of NFL players a lot of players that will be potentially going to the NFL. So that was a game. That was a game. And then later on, it was USC against Arizona State. And then you go from a game like Ohio State and Notre Dame, and then you go watch USC, and it's just like, what a contrast. Ooh, what a contrast. Those teams, you could, if you have a sound running game, and Notre Dame was subbing 4 or 5 running backs in the whole game. They were just staying fresh. But there's pros and cons to that, because the one, he's got that funny, God forgive me, he's got the funny name, but you got to have a back get into his rhythm. He runs and scampers for 8 yards. They pull him out. They bring another guy in. I don't know. And the coach made a couple of, I would say, bad decisions. He went for it on 4th and 2, and they're pounding the ball 3, 4, 6 yards every time right up the middle of Ohio State's defense. And he throws a blooper dud in the flat. Boom. Change of downs. Bad on that level of competition, on that stage. Bad. He made a couple other questionable calls. He got cute. That's what happened. You got cute. You can't get cute against these Ohio States and these. You can't. But the game was in the balance right to the end. Great game. So T-Bird, Yeah, I went 2-0 yesterday uh, with a member. I gave a member two winners. I hope he pounded them. So that's that. Starting off on the right foot. The other memberships are there to join, and you can see what they are, and that's that. Um, so let's just look over the lines. Let's look over the lines, see what we got here. Baltimore -7.5 at home against Indy's quarterback got hurt. I don't know. They're scampering. I think Baltimore is just settling into their Baltimore's settling into their mix. You know, they're settling in, and Indiana's the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. They're just a rag. I mean, these roller coaster teams, but the Colts better be really game because Baltimore might have a big party because Baltimore's defense is starting to sharpen up a little bit. They're tightening up a little bit. And that 7.5, they might have that in the first 5 minutes of the game. You know, they're trying to say the Colts have their defense is toughening, but the quarterback just went down. For the season, I believe Richardson, he's gone. Well, he wasn't much anyway, so they don't lose much on the replacement quarterback. Got to be honest. Cleveland -3 against the Tennessee Titans. Now that's going to be a ground chuck game, a running game. The back line is, the over-under is 38, 38, because they're going to run. And Cleveland's defense is getting, they suffered some couple of key injuries, and I would not bet against the Cleveland Browns at home, even though Tennessee's been a traditional smash in the face, but they don't have that same power game, I would say. So if you skip it, you skip that game. Detroit Lions -3 against the Falcons. They're touting the Falcons in that game. They're touting the Falcons in that game, +3 at Detroit. I'd have to Detroit. I like the coach. He takes shots. They're, Goff -3. I would move the line to Detroit -6.5, so get better odds. Get better odds because I think Detroit, Atlanta's coming up, but sometimes they turn into pumpkins when they go on the road. They just turn into pumpkins. And Saints at Green Bay. The Saints can bust Green Bay up -1. So that's more or less pick. That's a pick game. When would you ever see a pick game with Green Bay at home? Never. That Dennis Carr for the Saints, he throws the ball 65 yards in the air. He's got these receivers. They can run 4.2 40s. They're like Olympic sprinters, and they can catch. So this Dennis Carr, just like with the Raiders, they just, but the Saints, newsflash, the Saints so far have a defense. They can go in Green Bay and smack them around. Jordan Love is all right, quarterback. They got some of their staple players, but it might be fool's gold if you take Green Bay. The Texans at the Jaguars. Poor Texans. Jacksonville -7.5. Jacksonville don't impress me enough to be -7.5, so I will just pass. I don't know. Jacksonville doesn't play up to their talent. They just don't play up to their talent. I don't know what the deal is. The Dolphins -6 at home against the Broncos. The Broncos 0-2. Now that back line is 47. All the Broncos do is pass and the Dolphins pass. It's going to be a track meet. That back number 47.5. That could be close by the third quarter. That could be hit by the third quarter. Okay. The poor Chargers against the Vikings. Here's two teams that are touted to be tough in their divisions, to possibly be, division winners, close, and they both start with 0-2 records. That's a pick'em game because you'd be crazy trying to put a line on it, and it's just going to be an aerial game. The back line is 54. But like I said before, the other video, the Chargers just run out of gas in the fourth quarter. They're not eating their Wheaties. They got to stay, those Tuesday night parties, they got to, I don't know. Then you got New England Patriots 0-2 against the Jets 1-1. Patriots coming into town. Now here, this is an oddball. The Jets arguably have the best defense in the NFL. They're +2.5 at home against the Patriots. Something's just not right. Something's not right. If you could get them at 3, of course, they're looking for a tight, low-scoring game. The back line is 35. Both inept offense, 2 inept offenses, and the back line is 35.5 points. It's looking to be one of those 13-10 games, But I think the Jets' defense is worth 7 points alone. And the Patriots defense, this Belichick's always got tough defenses, and he's just a guru. He's just tough. The Buffalo Bills at the Washington Redskins. Yes, I say Redskins because they're the Redskins. They're not the Commanders, and all that woke garbage crap. The Bills are at the Washington Redskins. The line went down. The Bills are -5.5 now. And the over-under's 43. Washington's got one of the best front four defensive line in the league. Washington. And this Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, those linemen, they couldn't block me if I was on defense. Josh Allen is always running for his life. They can't give the guy 3 seconds in the pocket, and if they continue this, he's not going to last 5 or 6 games. God forbid, he's not going to make it. He takes too many chances. He has to simmer down. Josh Allen just wants to be a wild gunslinger, air it out, run all over the place. He's trying to do too much. Sometimes less is more. Relax. Throw a little pass out into the flat. Get 7 yards to your tight end. Catch Diggs coming across for 8. He's trying to do too much. And sometimes, and I blame that a lot on the offensive coordinator. I thought the Bills coach is one of the, I don't put any, as far as I'm concerned, the Bills coach is a scrub. McDermott. He's a scrub. The coach, all their coaches, they don't know how to come up with a game plan, offense, defense. So they put it all on Josh Allen's back that he's got to be Superman. But I hate the Washington Commanders, the Redskins. So I take the Bills minus 10. No, minus 9.5. So if they win by 10, you cover and get odds. So instead of getting, 110 odds, then you could get 2 to 1, get better odds. Move the line. Move the betting line. Carolina Panthers at the Seahawks. Pass. The Cowboys on the road against St. Louis Cardinals. And that line went too. So it looks like these lines were less, and now Dallas is laying more. They're minus 13 now. And what some people do with these big lines anyways, they'll bet 1,000 on the money line. Just the money line is just pick the winner of the game, but you're not going to get the same odds. You might have to put up 1,000 to make 300 or less, or depending on what the money line, that money line is minus 750. So you'd have to bet 750 to make 100. You'd have to bet 1,000 to make 125. So some people just pick them cherries, and they have a little system, and they will take that. Yeah, they'll take that. Chicago at Kansas City. Chicago, their stadium just got robbed, and they lost $100,000 in gear and everything else. And Justin Fields, highly touted quarterback, and it's some people just aren't into laying 12.5 points. And that money line is insane. I mean, there's millionaires that are just betting $50,000 on the money line because they figure Kansas City's going to win the game. Forget about points. And they're just looking to win, $1,000, just like robbing it, because it's it's like getting more interest than you get at the bank. So these guys are just running financial portfolios, picking 2 cherries out, putting up the big money, and it's better than the interest you get at the bank. We got the Steelers at the Raiders. Hodgepodge game. Raiders minus 3. You got Philadelphia Eagles at the Buccaneers. And the Eagles are minus 5. They were minus 6.5 on the road to Tampa. Both of these teams are 2-0. And Tampa's showing some life. The only way I would bet that is money line, because the money line isn't that bad, minus 225, and just hope that the Eagles won, because the Eagles are 2-0, but they've been struggling in some of their games. But they have the DNA, they have the personnel, and if they're on all cylinders, that minus 5 will be nothing to cover. But see, a lot of times these early records, 2-0, 2-0, and other teams are 0-2. It's just fool's gold, because some of these teams could go on. Obviously, they could go on 4-0 runs. I mean, they're just settling in and assessing. Adapt into what's going on, and get their team tighter as the season goes on. The Giants at the 49ers. Now, the Giants 1-2, 49ers 3-0. The San Fran minus 10.5 at home. Over under 43. Now with a minus 10.5, you'd think that back line would be higher, 43.5, because you just think there's a high scoring team, but they're like, maybe they could win 24-7. So that would be a low number. San Fran 24, Giants 7. They cover the time. They cover the 10.5. The Giants defense. See, a lot of times you get these teams that have these. They're laying all these big points, and they don't have such a great defense. But when you got these DC White Boy, thanks, buddy. There's my first shot. My two guys in here. Thanks, man. I appreciate your support. Thank you, buddy. Like I was saying, that's a good name, DC White Boy. Thank you, man. I don't know why I feel like crying, but geez, it's nice to show love and compassion. It's nice to show love and compassion. It's Jesus and gambling. Forgive me, Jesus. But what I was saying, a lot of times these teams that are laying a lot of points, 11.5, 10, 9.5, 8.5, they don't have a defense, a sound enough defense. So when you get teams like Dallas that can rock and roll offensively, and San Fran, they could cover these lines. They could cover them. And that's that. DC, I posted a video for members only, and it is an insane video. I wonder if it's a rare video of an interrogation of this kid and what he did. So let me know, because this is a first go through, buddy. That let me know that if you have access to that, members only. T-Bird, you should have access to that video, and so should you, DC White Boy. So that's why you got a defense like San Fran. They'll just shut you down and they rock and roll. Yeah. That's cool. So, and then there's the two other games. We'll get to those two other games. You know what? You know what I got to do, folks? You know what I got to do, because I'm thankful, and I got to give thanks to Jesus. I got to give thanks to Jesus that my channel is starting to grow a little bit, and we're having fun. September 24th, Jesus calling, forgive me, let's have some blessings. Maybe you make a score. Jesus, don't gamble. Live first and foremost in my presence. Gradually, you will become more aware of me than people and places around you. We see all these things, people and places and everything else. And sometimes the presence of Jesus might dominate this regular world. And you might feel a little, different. This awareness will not detract you from your relationships with others. It won't make you feel like, oh, geez, I'm riding with Jesus. Everybody stay away, because there's just Jesus freaks. So that's a good statement. So instead, it will increase your ability to give love and encouragement to the other people. Love and compassion. I get crazy. We're all trying. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. You'll be active in the world, yet one step removed from it. You can participate in the world and be active in our everyday lives, but then be removed for it to have a better lens, better eyes to see, better ears to hear, and perceive it in a manner that will give you better mental stability. Mental health issues are running rampant, and this is the handbook. Not them psychiatrists and this is the human handbook. So this is the path I set before you. As you follow it wholeheartedly, you'll experience abundant life and peace. If you have peace, that's abundance enough. So DC White Boy, we're riding, we're rocking and rolling, and I appreciate your support. T-Bird, the rapper, Dapper, the rapper. Praise Jesus, thank you, the rapper. So I posted that video over there for members, but it's an interrogation of this kid, and what he did to his mother is beyond. I had to put a warning for the content on there because it's gross. It's gross. And oh my gosh, T-Bird, you saw that, huh? And his cat. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Wow. That is just completely, that is interrogation to see for a lifetime, because you'll never see anything like that. Not even Charles Manson interviews. No. This kid will this kid in this interview will make Charles Manson look like an altar boy. Forgive me, God, for saying that, because I shouldn't say something that sounds sacrilegious. I shouldn't say that, but oh gosh. Wow. And yeah, he was so nonchalant. Yeah, DC White Boy, check that out. DC White Boy. Are you still here, DC? Are you still with me, DC? And we're gonna still do some mob stories too. Some other degenerate gambler stories. I'm gonna do them for the member. I'm gonna give DC White Boy members only video. Another degenerate guy. Are you still with me, DC? Because I'll give you and the T-Bird another good story. And I'll do them for the general subscribers also, but I'm going to give them some juice. I did a degenerate gambler story before, when the guy won, then he bought a car, that he sold the car. And, oh, geez. Crazy. But, yeah, I've done 300 videos, told a lot of gangster stories, and you guys supported me all the way through. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Jesus. We're up to 505 subscribers, so we might get to 1,000 quick, and let's just keep jamming. That's all. I mean, I'm not a tough guy. I like to have fun in here. Sometimes I get animated, but it's football season. Let's throw in. Let's mix some football in there, talk things over, and that's that. But we'll do that. Some more. We'll do the Degenerate Gambler series. We'll do that. Yeah. T-Bird, you've been riding with me for a long time, man, and you always gave me confidence. You see, it's just like Jesus says. I got censored and I got blocked so many times on YouTube, and it's like we need to have love and compassion. I'm not a tough guy. That crushed me. That made me depressed. Oh, I tried all this stuff, and then I just get shut down. And then you guys come in, and you say, great show, boom, boom, boom. Even if the video didn't get many views. You see, we have to have a community of people, whoever's in our mix, to bounce off each other. And T-Bird said, hey, you got aggravated. I was saying some bizarre things, and thank you, YouTube, for letting me see. But I'm not going to do those politics anymore. T-Bird and the rapper and DC White Boy. I'm not going to do politics anymore. Mr. Spataro, good morning, my friend. So I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do political stuff. Yeah. I appreciate the comments on there, T-Bird. So I'm staying away. I'm staying away from my political views. And I mean, to each his own. Democrats, Republicans, I love you all. We're all God's children, and I don't have to love you or hate you based on your political affiliation, because that would be a little juvenile, you know? Yeah. Congratulations on the win against. We're rocking and rolling. I'm 10-2. 10-2. So, and there's some other ones, but I'm not a high roller guy and all that. I don't claim. I'm humble. As you folks know, I'm humble. I tell you, I'm broke. I come right out and say it. Hey, what are you going to do? But I'm not broke, like a broke. You know, I'm happy. I'm the richest man in the world. When my daughter texts me, she says, I love you, Daddy. She's 35. That's the money. Love and compassion. Money comes in handy. We need to survive. Yes, I got, I don't want to play a violin. Please join the membership. I beg a little, but what are you going to do? If you really want to help and get some more juice out of it, read my book. It's a good book. It's a good book. They Dead Missed. It's available. There's a link to it. They Dead Missed. It's on Amazon. You want to know some really behind the scenes stories of stuff, gangster stuff that went on. Yeah. Jimmy Dean sausage. Yeah. The Raiders. So I'm happy, you guys. I get psyched. Football time. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. And whether we win or lose, let's be more appreciative of, if you believe in something, which I believe in, JC, and whatever, or if you just believe in the sun god or anything else, be appreciative. We're alive. And that, you know what that means? We have a shot to make a score. So, I was on life support for a long time. I was dead. And I came back. It's in the book. There's many stories of divine intervention in my life. So at 60 years old, thank you, the power of God and Jesus, to have me alive, whether I'm rich or poor. The fact that I'm still alive at 60, that's my score. Money comes in handy, but you know what? I can't be an ingrate. I should have been dead 7 times. So, and I was on life support 2 different times in my life with last rites. So we have the ability to enjoy. And like today's devotion says, the people around us, don't get separated from love and compassion and just withdraw, because mental health and mental illness is running rapid. And if you can't afford to gamble, don't gamble. Don't gamble. Just don't gamble at all. Pay your bills. If you have children, be smart. Be smart. And like I said in the other video, it's tough enough to win, because I was on the other side taking action once upon a time, and you would just see who were the people that won and who were the people that lost. And the sharp players that would just make spot bets or power 2-team parlays. A guy would just bet 1,000 or so on a game, and that's it. Other guys would make a shopping list of 5 games. Now you got to go 4-1 to really make any money. If you bet 5 flat bets, you got to go 4-1, and then you got to fight the vig, the percent if you lose. So you really guess. So if you even go 3-2 with 5 flat bets, you're breaking even. 4-1, you're making a little bit. You bet 5 $100 games, and you go 4-1. You win 400. You lose 110. You profit 290. Well, you had to go 4-1, and you made 290 on 500. So let's just say, and you only made 58% on your bet, and you went 4-1. You didn't really get a good return on your money. So that's Dallas is the kind of team, just like I was explaining earlier, that tough defense, smothering defense, and they can rock and roll in the air. Their odds went down to win the Super Bowl even, I believe. But you know who they got to get by? San Fran. That's the roadblock. That's the roadblock. They got to get by San Fran, which might very well be the NFC Championship game. So, yeah. T-Bird, I would. I like the Jets. I like the Jets at home. I know it's tough, T-Bird, but I like the Jets at home, plus 2.5. I'm not going to give that defense 2.5 points at home. I'm sorry. I can't do it. And the Dolphins, that line's only 6 because Denver can go up and down the field too, but I don't think they can outgun the Dolphins. I just don't think they can. I thought the Miami game would be Miami minus 11. We'll leave it at that. I'm not going to, and T-Bird, I'm leaning toward New Orleans on the road in a pick game, So there it is there. The AFC is wide open, of course. The AFC is wide open. Yeah. So there it is, folks. Thank you for coming in. DC White Boy, thank you for the membership. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. T-Bird, thank you for the donation. Everybody else that comes in here, we're rising up. And I think that I'm going to just show some other videos for membership only that have different content in it, not just gangster and not just football, but just some fascinating content that you might not find on YouTube. And I'll post them over there on the members. And more or less crazy murders and killings and stuff like that. So just to throw in a little extra something for you good people that support my channel. So thank you, everybody. Be the kings and queens of your world. We're alive, and you know what that means. We still have a chance to make a score. Let's not get that far away. And, we'll just keep our eyes on Jesus and whatever you believe in. And even if you don't believe, you can still have love and compassion for everybody. So thank you for your support. 1,000 subscribers is our next goal. 10 memberships by next month is our goal. So thank you, DC White Boy, for your membership support. Thank you, T-Bird. Thank you, everybody, for riding with me. God bless you all and stay great. Thank you.